Hey guys, alright, so what we're gonna do today is price out a print. I've never shown you guys how to do this, and I don't know if most of you guys know how to do this or have a way of doing this, or if some of you guys just kind of guess or look at what other people are pricing similar things for, or I don't know. But I'll show you what I use. There's a spreadsheet. It's a free spreadsheet by it's by a guy on YouTube. I think the YouTube channel is called Shop Nation, and then the website's like Print Farm Academy or something like that. I'll link the website below or in the description. I know you can't click on the link, so I'll send it. I'll try to send it to you guys if you message me or whatever. I'll try to send it to you guys. You know, I do my best, but it's not always as possible. So I'm gonna show you guys how to price out one of the congas. I know it's been very popular on the page here. It's very popular for us in general. So I will show you how to price this out, and this is going to include all of my settings that I print with. So make sure you do your settings that you print with. And what I would suggest is doing one set, right? So I removed any extras. Normally I print, maybe 3 or 4 at a time, right? So I'll have the plates filled with parts or pieces. But I removed those to get an accurate price. So that way when I fill this out, it's the most accurate I can get it, right? So remove it so you just have one set, so you're pricing it out correctly. Select your printer, make sure you have the right printer selected as well. And then we're gonna do slice all. And then let the let the slicer do its thing, go through all the pieces. So we're just gonna do the conga can holder, the regular can holder, and we'll go ahead and slice all the plates. And this is with 10% infill gyroid. It should include the brims on the two parts, the lid and then the top ring right there that I use, the gray, and then also the stripes have a brim, the stars, and the little supports on the stars that I use, and things like that. So, all right, here's our totals right here. So we have 247.3 grams, and then print time is 8 hours 41 minutes. So those are going to be our two most important things. And obviously when you're doing this at home, you can use, two windows at once. So let's switch over to the spreadsheet, and then I'll show you guys how to fill this out, okay? All right, so this is the spreadsheet. It's extremely simple and easy to use. There are little tabs at the bottom that you can do some more advanced inputs with, and then there are some explanations here, just to show you what each section is and for, so you know what you're filling out. The advanced inputs I haven't really messed with too much. I haven't found the need to do that just yet. Maybe as we scale up I probably will, but as of right now it's not really a thing that I need to do right now. So we're going to stay on this front page only, and we'll go ahead and fill out all our info. So part name, I have the conga can holder revision. I just do V2, that way I know it's for the second version of the conga, the slide in one, and not a snap in pieces, right? Not the one that we have to glue together. And then the date, our company name right here, and now material used. So you can put whatever you like. I just keep PLA, it doesn't really matter. Obviously we use a mix of PLA and PLA plus. And then for filament costs, it's cost per kilogram, so cost per full roll of filament. And what I do is I just average out the cost that I pay, or we pay, per full roll of filament. Now if you want to be super accurate, you can grab all of your rolls and add them all up and divide it by however many rolls you're using. So if you're using, 4 or 5 different colors, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 different colors, add up the cost of each roll, divide it by 5, and that would be your average cost for this one. I just do it by all the filaments that we use in general. So $17 seems about right. We use some filaments that cost about $22 to $24 each, and filaments that are as low as like $12, right? So we're right there. All right, now total filament required. We said 247.73. So I'm just going to round up to 248. Total print time was 8 hours 41 minutes. To make that a little bit easier, we're going to do 8.75. So that would be the 3/4 hours. I would round up by 15 minutes. So, if it's close to 8 hours and 15, right? 8.25, blah, blah, blah. All right. Total labor required. So there is some assembly required, right? To put these together, and take off a couple supports. I have a brim on the lid and a brim on the bottom ring. So just things like that. I factor all that in. It is what it is. 10 minutes I feel like is probably max. If it's the gluing one, it's probably an extra 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes, because you're laying down glue, right? Making sure things stick together. Things aren't coming apart. So down here is where it gets perfect, because there's nothing, right? There's no extras with the V2 version. You don't have any glue. Obviously there's none of this. It's not a fidget, right? So mainly it would just be glue, but there's no glue with the V2, which is great. So total material plus the labor is $8.33. Added machine costs. So that would be cost of maintenance on your printers, right? So just wear and tear on the machine in general. Just like when you take an Uber or something like that, they factor in the cost that person's going to have to go get oil changes, right? Eventually replace tires, do their brakes, maintenance on their vehicle, things like that. Same thing applies for the printers. You guys should be taking care of your printers. We take care of our printers every 600 hours or so and do the full maintenance on the printers. A lot of times I re-level all the beds, mesh them. So I'm actually grabbing a level, putting it on the bed, re-leveling everything, and then running full calibrations to make sure everything's good, replacing hot ends, replacing PTFE tubes, things like that. So, you have a lot of consumables that you have to replace as well. So that goes into that, and that's a minimal cost right there. It's really not that much. So your total landed cost, which is the total dollar amount to be at your desk, right, as fully assembled, is $9.10. Now, to make double your money, you would list this at $18.19. 60% margin is $22.74. 70% margin, $30.32. So they give you 3 different tiers of pricing to make what you think is fair. We try to stick between this 50 to 60 mark, depending on what it is. Now, for the congas, we do list them at 25%, at $25. I'm so sorry, 25%. At $25, but I myself have done a lot of different testing in terms of print qualities and what works best, and adjusting things to have them print the best and higher quality, and a little customization, and making sure things fit well and fit nice and things like that. So for myself, I feel justified in keeping it at that $25 mark. I'm okay with that. And if somebody doesn't want to pay that, you know what? I'm all right with that. But this is one of those things that gets interesting, because I do see a lot of people pricing this stuff and a lot of other stuff extremely cheap, and I don't understand people racing to price stuff, at $1, so to speak. When you do that, you're not winning anything. And I'll never understand that, because just like, and I assume this is how this works in real estate, which is what happened, several years ago. When people list houses at higher prices, everybody else starts to list them at a higher price, right? So it becomes a seller's market. When people in 3D printing start to list stuff at pennies, now everybody else feels like they have to list stuff at pennies, which doesn't make any sense. So I hope that this message gets out to a lot of people and that people can realize, oh, I don't have to list my items for $1 or $1.50. There is value in things that you make as long as you take the time to make sure that they're quality items and you're not just listing stuff that has, separated layers or things don't fit correctly or, nasty layer lines, things like that. We don't put stuff out that has stuff like that. If there's a nasty layer line, guess what? It goes in the trash or it stays in a drawer or in a bin here, or my kids take it or I give it away to somebody for free, a friend or something like that. That's not something that I'm selling. That there's no cost to that. That's a $0 item. But when you guys take the time, you guys should make that time worth something. So I see a lot of these kongas, especially now from the Chinese, print farm market, they're listing these things for $9, which we all know when you get that thing, there's one wall and it's got 2% infill, and if you squeeze your hand too hard on it, that thing's going to crack. And nothing fits correctly because I've seen all the videos and I comment in all the videos and I do not care. But this is just my 2 cents. Sorry, I'm ranting. But I will send you guys this spreadsheet if you ask. Just send me a message and I'll send you the link so you can actually click on it and download it. You just have to give your email and then they'll email you the spreadsheet and you can save it to your Google Docs. And then I'll show you. Like I just have it right here. So I just click on it and it pops up. So when I want to save this, I would just save as and just save as the konga can B2 or whatever. And that way it's on the Google Docs. It's in a cloud. You don't even have to take up space on your computer, okay? All right, I hope this helps out some of you guys. And then, yeah, hopefully this helps you guys price out your prints a little bit better and gives you a better value on what you're doing. And a better idea of what you have instead of just guessing like, oh, I have to list this for cheaper because I saw someone else. Don't do that. Your time is valuable. All right, put a dollar amount on it. All right, thank you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help as always. Thank you so much.